Mira cómo se ríe la prensa de nosotros. Un buen ejemplo es cómo trató de explicar lo que le pasa a la Argentina un yanqui. Hizo lo mío de recién, pero en serio. John Oliver se llama, en el programa Last Week Tonight. Míralo.
There was an amazing international story this week that you may have missed.
Argentina is in default for the second time in 13 years. Last-minute talks failed to produce a deal with the country's bondholders demanding payment overnight. Now Argentina has defaulted.
Now, Argentina defaulting is not in itself startling. They've done it 7 times before. Defaulting is an Argentine tradition every bit as grand as the tango and hiding Nazis, both of which they are flamboyantly good at. And you may be thinking, well, look, this is horrible for the people of Argentina, who are clearly in for a very difficult time. But what does this story have to do with me? Well,
there is a deep-seated resentment against the United States in Argentina nowadays. People there say the world's most powerful country is driving their financially strapped nation into the abyss.
That's an unpleasant surprise. Because normally, if you see someone burning an American flag, you can at the very least guess why. Pakistan, well, probably drone strikes. Iran, let's say crippling sanctions. This time, the flag is not burning due to the actions of the US government as much as it is some US hedge funds.
The dispute began when Argentina financially collapsed in 2001 and couldn't pay its debts. Most investors owed money have agreed to accept repayments of as little as 25 cents for each dollar spent. But a group of US hedge funds known as holdout investors have refused and have taken Argentina to court to get their money.
Now, I know that you are on the edge of your seats at this point. Hedge funds, foreign bonds, and court-ordered debt restructuring. You don't often get a single story with all 3 active ingredients in a bottle of NyQuil. But how is it possible for a hedge fund, which is by definition run by a small group of extremely rich arseholes, that's a fact, how is it possible for them to bring Argentina to the precipice of default? Look, in its most basic form, this is what happened. Argentina's economy collapsed in 2001. Their government wrote a bunch of IOUs to bondholders that it later decided not to pay. 93% of those bondholders eventually accepted Argentina's offer to pay the debt back at around 30 cents on the dollar. But the remaining investors, led by a hedge fund called Elliott Management, listened to Argentina's kind offer of 30 cents on the dollar and counter-offered by telling them to go fuck themselves. And then 2 years ago, Elliott Management, who at this point were acting like an international collection agency, went full repo man on Argentina.
A court in Ghana today ruling that this Argentine Navy ship, the Libertad, cannot leave port. Elliott Management, run by secretive hedge fund billionaire Paul Singer, sued to take control of the ship.
Just think about that. A secretive billionaire's hedge fund managed to essentially boat jack a warship like a Somali pirate in an Armani suit. I am the captain of industry now. I am the captain. And the hedge fund held that ship for more than 2 months, which is crazy. Almost as crazy as how Argentina greeted the ship upon its return.
She arrives to a full-blown celebration. The Ara Libertad is finally home after being detained for 2 months in Ghana. The triumphant return was watched by the Argentinian president, Cristina Fernandez.
Okay. First, Argentina, what exactly do you think you're doing? If you're on the edge of default, maybe cut the fireworks budget a bit. And also, it's a little suspicious that you suddenly care this much about a warship which, no offence, would look more at home inside a decorative glass bottle. Because, look, just to be clear to you, Argentina is by no means blameless in this story. They reneged on their debts. So throwing a party for that boat is the international equivalent of a deadbeat dad celebrating moving his car before his ex-wife could seize it for child support. Yes! Fuck you, Carol. I need this Celica to drive to the job I'm definitely gonna get. Yes! Celica is mine! Elliott Management has been here before. They reportedly made a 400% profit on Peruvian debt in 2000, and then in the Republic of Congo invested less than $20 million and got $90 million back. They've not broken the law. And the fact that that's true makes this story so much more concerning to me. That a dispute with a small group of powerful investors can drive a G20 nation into default is one of those things that is technically not illegal, but really feels like it probably should be. Like being drunk on a Segway, or watching porn on an airplane, or naming your puppy Cunty McGee. You're technically allowed to do all of those things, but isn't humanity supposed to be a lot fucking better than that?
Es terrible verlo, ¿no? Es terrible, es terrible. Preguntémonos de todo, pero preguntémonos en principio, ¿cómo se gastó esa guita que ahora tenemos que pagar o que en algún momento vamos a pagar? ¿Cómo la gastamos? ¿En quién la gastamos? ¿Se gastó bien? ¿Sabemos por qué estamos endeudados?